Welcome to my stonking basement, baby. Alright. New update. We got a camera mount, so I can now clip my camera anywhere. And, you know, I don't have to weirdly adjust it. This is what I was using before. I would just position the camera against the screwdrivers in a way that would leave the table visible. Now we've upgraded, we've got a clip, so, you know, see this bag? Oh, I want to mount my camera on the bag, clip it on there, boom, bada bing, bada boom. Bloody, that here, want to clip it upside down, boom, boom, we're clipped on. Grr. You know what I mean? It's just so versatile, and I can adjust the camera angle as well, so I can clip it on here, grr, and then I can adjust it to be higher or lower. Like, come on, man, come on, we are so up, upside down. Anyway, that was pretty good. So, you may be able to see it already, but we made a purchase recently that will hopefully allow us to finish off this project we have bought. So yeah, we're in the basement today working on this. The paint's dried, so we can continue. We bought a UV torch. Now I do have a few, like, I don't know, the packaging's a bit questionable. So it says here that we can use it to spot counterfeit money, counterfeit cash. We can use it to see, you know, pet urine. They're trying to market the thing. And like fluorescence, you can, you know, reveal fluorescence, right? So they're kind of reaching, but you wouldn't believe what the last one is. They have scorpions. What do you mean? So you can use the UV torch to see scorpions. What? Yeah, I've got no idea what they could possibly mean by scorpions. Unless UV light deters them, who knows? But the reason we bought this is because the resin that we're going to use needs UV to dry, and we could just leave this out in the sun, but if we want faster results and more consistent results, I think it's better to use a UV torch. It'll also mean I won't have to record outside, so yeah, let's unbox this thing. And if any scorpions come by into the basement, we can kill them with my UV torch. Come on, bro. Come on now. So yeah, we're feeling good. Let's open this thing up. Batteries are included, which is pretty good. Yeah. Sorry, had to. You don't want to look at me. Hold on. There we go. Yes, sir. Camera mount for the win. Let's open this thing up. Pretty thing. Pretty young thing. I'm really curious to see what this is like, because I've never used a UV torch before. So, you know, will it help you tan? Can you tan using a UV torch? I don't even know. I feel like I'm loading a shotgun. Oh my days. Check that out. Can UV torch, bro. That's sick. That's really cool. Grr. I can feel the warmth on my hand. UV comes from the sun. All right, that's pretty cool. I like that. I'm gonna play with this thing for a while. Whoa. Anyway, pause. So, looking at the mirror, when we first painted it, I will admit, it didn't look as frosted. This looks very, very thick. I think I added way too much paint. But we'll I'm gonna peel off the paint and we're just gonna see how it looks. You know, it's all will be revealed. So let's just see how it goes. Then we can start adding resin. Ooh, okay. Okay. Interesting. This is very interesting. Yeah, not gonna lie, this is dookie. This does not look how I wanted it to look, okay? Low-key dookie water, bro. Alright. We'll take off the stickers. Okay, so we can actually use the screwdriver to remove some of the paint. We might try and do that to clean it up. We just have to be careful because the screwdriver does, you know, ruin the paint job. And some of the stickers have left some adhesive. Maybe some kind of alcohol will help. We're going to remove the bordering tape. Dude, I don't know, man. I don't know about this one. There's just too much paint. Way too much paint. A few less coats and it might have looked really, really nice. Or more in line with my vision, you know what I mean? In the morning and the evening, and you're coming. And you're going, and you're weeping, and rejoicing. He is for you, he is for you. What we're gonna do is we're gonna try and use the screwdriver to clean up the edges. You guys can kind of see that the tape left jagged, left very jagged edges. So we're gonna try and clean up them edges. Girl, you gotta clean up those edges. Oh, I'm hilarious. Okay, let's get to work. This works pretty well, actually. In your morning and the evening, and you're coming, you're going. And you're weeping and rejoicing. He's for you. He's for you. his favor be upon you and 1,000 generations, and your family, and their children, and their children, and their children. For you. I think I was exposed to another aspect of my faith that I haven't really. I am a Christian, fun fact. I think I've been more exposed to another area of my faith that I haven't been as open to in the past. I've been going to a new church, one that I haven't really seen in a positive light for a while, but I decided I was going to go, and I was in the service, and I already considered myself a Christian, but I don't know, man. I was in there, and they were singing, they were singing in a way that our church doesn't really, or the churches I've been to haven't really sung before. They were singing, very expressive, and anyway, they sang this song, and hasn't happened to me in a long time, but I was standing there and I was bawling my eyes out, during a song at church. And yeah, I cried, and I cried pretty hard. And I remember the pastor was like, put your hand up if you want to give your life to Christ. And the thing is, I already thought I had, but I found myself putting my hand up. I felt the desire to put my hand up, so I did, and yeah, made a prayer to give my life to Christ. It's again, and I had a friend of mine who he was in our Bible study, and he's a guy I respected a lot, and he moved to one of these churches that I didn't have a very favorable view of, and I had a conversation with him, and I was like, why? Because as far as I was concerned, I really did view our church as kind of the holy grail of what faith should look like, or the Christian faith should look like. And he didn't have some crazy convincing answer for me, but I remember he told me sometimes your faith just has to be felt. And I remembered that, obviously, because I'm here talking about it today. But it's safe to say during that service, I think I felt it. So in a way that I haven't really felt before. So gave my life to Christ again last week, which is something I wasn't expecting, because I thought I was a pretty a Christian who was very secure in his faith and knew what his faith meant to him. But yeah, I guess I've just learned. I don't know, man. The faith is deep. I'm just using the screwdriver to get the adhesive off here. Yeah, that looks much, much better. the adhesive leaves a bit of a, I don't know if you can see the difference, but the adhesive, I'm trying to use the light from the GoPro, but it leaves a bit of an opaque coat on top of the mirror. So to get the look I want, we're gonna have to get rid of them. Because yeah, I think the way I've been moving through the world has been very, very logical. And a bit devoid of feeling. Granted, I do think, you know, it's easy to feel very deeply, you know. But then what we choose to do with that, like, we might try to intellectualize feelings or, you know, rationalize things, but sometimes the feeling is something I've learned more recently is, you know, maybe feeling is enough in and of itself, you know what I mean? We're not gonna, you know, I hope I don't sound too crazy, but anyway, with regards to faith, at least, you know, I felt it, and yeah, decided to give my life to Christ again. I feel like I'm going to be doing that my whole life. So yeah, that was very interesting. I don't like the thickness of the coat I've got on here. Like, I just don't. It looks it's way too thick. I'm sorry. This looks like ice. It looks like ice has frozen onto the mirror, which isn't really what I was going for. But we made it, and it was our first project. And in its own way, it's beautiful. So we're gonna run with it for now. We're gonna explore what this can look like. Do I make use of the resin? Think about it. If we have, if it's ice, if it's an ice mirror, as opposed to a, you know, fogged up mirror, would it make much sense to use the resin? Because the resin will be clear. It'll be very clear, and it'll look like water droplets. We could go for more of an icicle look, but I think what that will mean is we will have to apply more paint to the UV resin. Also, another thing that I need to consider is that the mirror actually has a level of depth. So if you look at it face on, I don't know if you can see it, but the paint job looks very clean. But then if you look at it from another angle, it seems to kind of fade into a lighter coat of paint. All right, I think we'll hit it with the resin. what if to thin out the coat a little bit, we used some iron wool to shave it down, or maybe some high grit sandpaper. We do have high grit sandpaper here. Remember in the basement videos, we in our basement series, I don't know if you guys have been keeping up to date with it, but we found this massive roll of high grit sandpaper. Let's rip off a bit and try and use this to create a sort of effect. Let's see if this does anything. I don't know about that. This is quite interesting, actually. Alright, it's got some randomness to it, which I do like. The con is I've just scratched up the frame of the mirror. No. No, no, no. Alright, bet. We've done it now. Let's just crack on with it. Working up the resin. I think this endeavor is coming to an end soon, guys. Okay. The resin. No idea what kind of consistency this thing has. So how it's going to work is we're going to get a surface. Let's just see how it pours. Never used this stuff before. Okay. So it's quite liquidy. Drag it down, and then if we apply UV to it, I don't know if you guys can see it, it should dry. I don't know if it's affected by distance. I can actually feel the heat of the UV torch from behind the paper, which is interesting. Yeah, and it hardens. Funny thing is, when I look at you know how when you're outside, it's very bright, and then you walk inside and everything's a bit darker. When I look away from this, it has that effect. UV is no joke. This is, yeah, it hardens up real quick. Okay, and then it just holds its shape. That's cool. So how are we gonna apply it here? Who the hell just texted me? Ah, you idiot. No. Silence, fiend. I'm filming a video. Okay. We're gonna put a drop of resin on each of the spots, and we're gonna put a drop on the tails as well. So let's just do it. Just a really small drop. Crap, man. I'm going a bit heavy on this. Oh, nice. That was a good one. Tough, dude. Oh, hell yeah, man. Okay. Then what we're gonna do, all right, we've applied the resin. Let's close this up. Black container, so no light can get in. Okay, we've gone a bit heavy on the resin in some places, so I'm gonna try and scrape a bit off. Ah, stuff it, who cares? What we're gonna do now, we're gonna turn the mirror down, let them drop down a little bit, and then we're letting everything drip down slightly. We're gonna turn it back up, and then what? Hit it with the UV torch. You know what, let's just let it drip a lot more. Put it down like that. Get gravity on our side, baby, come on. Let them drip, and then bring it up. More? More, let's do it, more. Put it down. I don't know how this is gonna react with the paint. But I think I like it. All right, flip it up. Great, that's good. Let's hit it with the torch. Maybe we can get a bit of a better looking trail if we... Yeah, I don't know. We want to pop any bubbles, that's for sure. So we'll pop the bubbles. Then what do I want to scrape away the paint? I do a... Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to... But the debris will be left in there. We're going to see, I don't know how this is going to turn out, honestly, but give it a crack. May His favor be upon you and 1,000 generations, and your family and their children and their children and their children. 1,000 generations, and your family and their children and children. Yeah, the sandpaper was a bad idea because we've also scratched up the mirror, which I probably should have, you know, guessed would happen, but anyway, that's okay. Hit it with the torch. Yeah. Oh, damn. It's reflected into the camera. That's cool as hell. Guys, is this sick? All right, fill it out. Copper fill. Yeah, it's getting harder. It's This might take a while. I'm gonna hit them all with a bit of UV just so they harden a little bit. May His favor be upon you and 1,000 generations, and your family and your children. Oh, and your family and your children and your children and their children. May His favor be upon you and 1,000 generations, and your family and their children and their children and their children. Amen. 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 All right, surely that's enough. It's still a bit goopy. And the thing is, without UV, these will not set. They just won't. It ain't finna happen, okay? Amen. 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 Oh, amen. 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 I feel like I'm in a point in my life where I want to move forward. Granted, we should always be striving to move forward on our journeys, but I have a pattern where I seem to move forward, right? And then I'll encounter something that makes me uncomfortable or that I don't really know how to deal with. And then I fall into a bit of a state of disarray. It's like my mind kind of breaks apart. And so I'm filled with, bad emotions, and I hyperfixate and I ask a billion questions to try and understand what I'm, experiencing, this new experience. But then all it takes is just, a second, and then boom, my mind goes from all over the place and it kind of collapses and becomes focused. And then, I move forward, and then maybe I experience something new, and then it happens again. That's been the way I've been, but I don't know. I feel like my mind has just come back together. And I think I'm ready for next. But the thing is figuring out what that is. You know what? It can be confusing, but I think I know what that is. So I'm looking forward to it. Should be, yeah. Start small, do things you want to do, and yeah, that's all there is to it, I suppose. Surely they're hard now. I think I should be focusing on one at a time, as opposed to going over all of them for a short amount of time. Really let the UV soak. I'm curious though, can you tan with a UV torch? They have UV beds, right, to tan, and it's just a bunch of UV lights, so I'm guessing yes. Unless you need some sort of special oil. I don't know, man. Je ne sais pas. That's French for I don't know. Yeah, what do you guys think? How did it turn out? Any good? Probably could have been better, but that's alright. The whole process was fun, and that's why we've cleared this whole place out for things like this, shenanigans. And look, we bought our first piece of gear, first piece of equipment, the UV torch. So there's that too. Okay, this is not getting any quicker. Maybe if I hit it from the side, it'll be better. Because my thoughts are the UV's coming, hitting the mirror, and then bouncing off. And so the resin isn't really absorbing it. Now that's good. The white paper will hopefully reflect the UV back onto itself. Especially with the white. Yeah, man. Alright. Damn. It's like, it does look like a UV bed. I don't know if you guys can see it. Look at this. It gets really, man. Check this out. Can you see that? Look at how stonking bright it gets in there. Woo, damn. We tanning in this place. Might have to start a little tanning salon. Just grab this torch, grab a piece of paper, and just get as dark as you need to. Come one, come all. Not enough melanin? All good. Come to Ioanni's tanning bets. Alright, I don't know how long this is going to take. Hey, what do you guys want to talk about? Does it just stay sticky, or is that just a symptom of it not being fully cured? Is that good enough? Yo, gang, check this out. Yo, this is sick, bro. What's up with it? Alright. I like it. It was a good first artwork. Things we do need to improve on. First things first. I think I put a bit too much resin on each drop, on each trail. So it's a bit thick for my liking. The choice to use sandpaper to scratch up the mirror was not the best decision. The paint, there were too many coats and it resulted in a finish that was way too thick. Not happy with that. Also, the the cut, the masking wasn't as good as I would have liked. It would have looked a lot better with a cleaner mask or a cleaner border trail thing. So yeah, not bad for a first project, but not perfect either, and that's okay. I liked making this. This might end up on Marketplace, man, not gonna lie. Not going to lie. I'm really curious though, what did scorpions mean on the packaging? Like, what do you mean this is for scorpions? I'm actually gonna search it up. How do scorpions react to UV? I'm guessing it's some kind of a deterrent. Do we have reception in the basement? No way. Okay, listen to this. According to AI, when exposed to UV light, scorpions absorb the rays and re-emit them as a bright neon green or blue-green glow. They have fluorescence. What? There's no way. That is sick. So apparently, when the scorpion's hit with UV, it lets the scorpion know that it's actually exposed. And so it knows to hide and to seek shelter. And that's the function of its shell being able to absorb UV. That is really cool. Now, I don't know why that's listed as a marketing point on the packaging of this, because it doesn't even, I guess it kind of disables and deters scorpions, because it does let them know they are exposed. Me getting the lens in my camera right now. I wonder if this will damage my camera. Maybe I should be careful. But yeah, that's interesting. I did not know that. Did not know that UV reacted with the shell of a scorpion. Very cool. Don't say you don't learn things on this channel. Come on, man. Amen. Amen. I think yeah. I've had a lot on my mind, man, more recently. And I've been questioning the way in which I value things and why I value those things. You know what I mean? I feel like I'm really calling myself into question. And I'm questioning things that I have never questioned before, you know? So, it can, yeah, man, early 20s, bro, it can be quite confusing. but I am so here for it. I love this, personally, this figuring things out rubbish, like, big fan. I love figuring things out. I hope I never figure everything out, because this process is just, it's just good. It lets me know I'm alive, you know what I mean? This is what it's about. Imagine you just knew all the answers. How boring would that be? Like, we've got Christ to lead us, and we just, we stumble along. We stumble along after him, and he drags us along with him, man. Maybe not drags. We're meant to pick up our cross and follow, but it can definitely feel like I'm being dragged sometimes, just because of the way in which I mess up. I'm yapping for real. Maybe my finger's what is sticky. Nope. Alright. I don't think this is getting any better. Okay. Right. So, we're done. This is it. What I could do is I could try and frost up the back. And then we could use the screwdriver to carve out another heart and see how that turns out. Could be an interesting idea. But we've already done this. Do I want to do it again? Not particularly. I'd like to move on to something else. I love the water drop effect though. Look at that. It's actually pretty nice. It's got a bit of depth to it, just because of the resin. Helps to create the illusion. Cool. What do I do with it? Who's donkin' knows? But we made it, and it's finished. So there you go. First project in the basement. All done. Little frosted mirror type beat. Yeah, sick. Dude, what do I do with it? Genuinely, what do I do with it? I don't know. I don't think it's good enough for Yaya. Does it have to be good enough? What the hell is she gonna do with that? Like, genuinely, what is she gonna do with that? The technique I used for the resin was pretty off, looking at it now. I don't know if you guys can see, but towards the top is a very, very small, maybe the torch will help with this, with showing you. At the top, you can kind of see where the resin went down, and then it kind of droops and it gets fatter and fatter as it goes down. What I should have done to combat that, I think, is to apply the resin, but hold the bottle here. Push, 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 push. And then what would happen is, because of the contact between the nozzle and the mirror, it would have just held most of the resin here via surface tension, and then a smaller drop would have come down. And I think it would have had a better effect. I think it would have mirrored a drop of water that had, come down. It would have mirrored a teardrop, you know what I mean? But instead we've got kind of like a fat trail, like a snail trail. So if I did that on every single drop, I think it would have turned out a bit better. but that's something we can definitely use later on. Also, good thing about this UV resin is that we can use it to make some kind of dip art. So I used to be into wire art, right? What we can do is we can use this stuff to create a bit of a dip, a bit of a paste, and we can use wire and then dip the wire into the paint. It'll create like a bit of a pedal. Hold on. What is it? Dip art. And you get this nice effect. You can make some really cool stuff with this. I don't know if this is real. Anyway, that can't be real. Let's use it. There. Something like this. You kind of get that translucent look, and it's colored. You can make some really, really pretty stuff with this dip resin. So we can use the hard type resin we've got here to create that. But yeah. There you go. That's all for today.